Well, all right. Well, we are live on the Off the Top Media YouTube. As of right now, table spot underway. Cam, let's just kick it. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Table Spot. My name is Metal Mike. I'm your host, and I'm joined here, as always, with the man with the best beard in the business, the host of the Boom every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite, Mr. Cam G. Cam, shocking turn of events. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther defeating Jey Uso tonight on Monday Night Raw. We're just going to get into it. Cam, your thoughts, man. I mean, Gunther, new World Champion. This is. I'm still fucking stunned. I'm shaking right now, and this ain't fake. I'm shaking. I'm shocked. I am stunned at the moment because this is the first time in probably 20 years, if not more, that we have changed the World Championship on a Monday Night Raw, and just the momentum that Jey Uso has been having lately. I don't know, Cam. I'm left fucking speechless right now. Yes, you just got 2 F-bombs in the last 30 seconds from me. Your thoughts on this, man. Your thoughts.
I don't know, man. I'm honestly mind blown. Truthfully, I am. I don't know. Like, I definitely didn't see that coming for sure. This seemed like they built this up for weeks. This whole showdown for the championship in Phoenix and whatnot have you. Definitely didn't see it coming. I'm not even. I'm struggling to find words. That's crazy. Maybe this, like I said, I think this show was definitely designed to, again, get all of the attention off of Triple H and TKO and them cutting people and things of that nature. So, hey, I mean, mission accomplished, I would say, because they definitely put together a shocking Raw, to say the least.
We had a show last week, and we didn't even pay any mind to Monday Night Raw. We didn't pay any mind to what was happening on our television last week. We had a show last week to, number one, the first hour and a half of the 2 hours that we were live last week was completely focused around R-Truth, and we will get into that in a little bit. But then we talked about the rumors. And the thing here on the Table Spot, for those of you for the first time ever witnessing the Table Spot, number one, appreciate you being here for the watch along. Appreciate you being here for the Table Spot. We appreciate you sticking around and checking us out. I mean, we talked in length about what direction WWE may be going in with the stuff going on with R-Truth. And then Saturday night, we get the shocking turn of events that R-Truth is back. Okay. But then in our conversation, we also talked about not only The Miz, who deleted WWE content from his social media, we talked about Gunther, who deleted content from his social media. And the direction that WWE may be going is Gunther going to stick around. He just signed that contract last year with them. And we're not going to get deep into the contract talk either. Well, I'm just mentioning that to the point of that's, out there in the air, into the, universe and everything like that. Okay. And the possibilities, could Gunther be on that list next? Who knows? Fast forward to tonight, and we knew we were getting this main event. We knew this match was happening. But there was no signs whatsoever to the fact that Gunther was going to win the world title. Jey Uso has been on the biggest role possibly in his career, next to him teaming up with his brother with the tag team titles, the biggest role of his singles career. World champion since WrestleMania. Made Gunther tap out at WrestleMania And now Gunther turns it around and becomes world champion for a second time in his career. So again, with that being said, we don't work there. We know nothing about the contract stuff, nor do we even have the interest of that stuff. It's all about sitting back, watching, and see what they do, and us giving our full-on opinions as fans as things happen, like we did last week. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't. Like, we knew how his world title run was the last time. Had to do all that cleanup work with Sammy and all that stuff. But then finally, he gets into a storyline with Jey Uso leading into WrestleMania. Great storyline. You know, they had some good interactions leading up to WrestleMania. And then we get to WrestleMania and Jey taps him out. And now all of a sudden, and I feel like, God damn it, Cam. I said at the top of the show, I said, are we getting 2 world titles tonight because of the John Cena CM Punk thing? Doesn't happen. And I literally said, if they do 2 world titles tonight, one of these titles need to change hands. I said that. I said one of these titles need to change hands tonight. And it fucking happened. It happened. Do you have any other thoughts on this match? Like, full-blown thoughts on this match? How it was? How do you feel about Gunther being the world champion? Like, I need to gather my thoughts. So that's why I'm kind of throwing the microphone to you, the floor to you for a minute here, because I still need to gather my thoughts on this.
Well, I definitely think this match was better than the one they had at Mania. I think Jey ultimately was just very nervous, and I think you could kind of tell. During the course of the Mania match, until he really started to get into his own, the longer that match went on. This match, he just seemed more sure of himself. He's kind of gotten more comfortable in the position that he's in right now as world champion. So I liked it. I liked this better. It was definitely more physical, and it definitely went. They went the distance for sure. They definitely went a lot longer. You had even mentioned it during the course of the watch along that they definitely went a lot longer than you had thought they were going to go. But like I said again, just the fact that this title changed hands when we didn't see that coming at all, it's just shocking. I'm not even really quite sure to how to even put it into words, really. But it's definitely a shocking turn of events. I love it though, personally. Like I said, I'm a huge Gunther fan. And we were asking again, like I said, you ask and you shall receive. About the direction of Gunther. The direction of Gunther was very up in the air, with him, fighting, Pat McAfee and things of that nature. Me and you both has suggested that maybe he should go away for a while. So yeah, it was very in question. We really didn't know what the direction of Gunther really was. And who knows? I don't even know how long this world title reign, even now, even the second time around, how long that's going to last. I'm not sure, but I'm liking it. Again, like I said, it keeps fans guessing. It keeps excitement to the product. It keeps you wanting to come back for Monday Night Raw next week to see what's going to happen next. So I'm all for it, honestly.
So the last time the WWE Championship last changed hands on regular Raw, an episode of Raw, was November 21st, 2020, when Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton, according to this. So that's the last time it's saying. But didn't Bobby Lashley win his championship on Monday Night Raw? He beat The Miz in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected on the whole 20-year thing. It has not been that long. But yeah, this match was definitely, again, a lot lengthier than expected. But not only that, and we both mentioned this, that this was a better match than their WrestleMania match. This was almost like them saying, you know what, the WrestleMania match was good, but it wasn't up to the potential. So let's find a Monday Night Raw to put this match on. We got to get Gunther his rematch, which he has not gotten yet since WrestleMania. And you got to think he lost it on April 20th of 2025. So it is now June 9th. So almost exactly 3 months to the day that he lost his world championship. Are all the current male champions heels? Well, let's run it down. Gunther, heel. Intercontinental champion is who's the Intercontinental champion? Dominic Mysterio, heel. United States champion, Jacob, babyface, because of the turn on Saturday. So no. John Cena, heel. So Jacob's a baby. Tag team titles. The New Day, heels. And then the tag team champions on SmackDown, I believe, are heels. So the only babyface is Jacob. I mean, with that turn on Saturday, I would probably consider him a baby because the fans are behind him.
Yeah, that reaction is that's a babyface reaction.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear a boo in the crowd when Jacob comes out moving forward. You're not. That was a baby turn, so he's the only babyface. And then you look at the women's. Women's world champion right now is Io Sky, babyface. Intercontinental champion Becky Lynch, heel. World champion on SmackDown, babyface. United States champion is who's U.S. champion right now over on SmackDown? Women's
Jacob.
U.S. champion.
Women's U.S. champion.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega, babyface. So the women babyfaces, except the tag team titles, that's heels. But the women, it's more so baby faces. And, Thunder, here's the thing. And I'm going to say this right now. It's not that I forget who is the champion. It's sometimes the names don't come to me right away. That's my problem because I'm getting old. The memory thing it hits me. Me and Cam have had lengthy conversations about my memory sometimes. And it's just, it gets to be funny. So, yeah, I know who I'm trying to say. It's just the name is not coming out. That's what happens to me sometimes. Yeah. Old age. Be 39 in July, Cam. It happens. But now I've kind of calmed down now and kind of gathered my thoughts. Cam, I'm going to ask you, as I always do on Monday nights, what would you give tonight, Monday Night Raw, as a grade?
This is the first time, and that's a tough question to ask me because I really don't know. So much. I'm gonna just say NA. Because so much happened to where, easily this is the best Monday Night Raw they've had so far. I think in 2025, it was great.
Very good Raw.
It was really good. Like I said, it kept you guessing. It was like a roller coaster ride. And you just didn't know. It was like a roller coaster ride in the dark.
Yeah,
and you just didn't know which way. Upside down, right side up, left, right. You just didn't know which way this Raw was going to go next. So, yeah.
I mean, we kick things off with John Cena coming out. Surprising because we didn't even expect John Cena to be on the show. There was no promotional thing about him showing up tonight.
True. And
we kick off the show with him. And then CM Punk get into it, which we'll talk about in a few moments. And then we get a superstar return, during a women's segment. It's like tonight was kind of like, we're going to take you this direction, but watch out because we're going to take you in a whole different direction. I have to give tonight a B+. A B+. It was a really, really good Monday Night Raw. Really good show. Really, really good show. But let's start talking about some things. We already talked about the world title in pretty much good length here for the past 15 minutes now, starting off the table spot. Let's get into the John Cena and CM Punk segment to kick off Raw. John Cena comes out and says that the truth is still a lie, and that R-Truth's greatest achievement was pretending to be John Cena. He also went on to say that we all pretty much pulled for R-Truth to come back, but within the next year, we're not going to care about him. John, I'm sorry, dude, but I think you're wrong on that one. I think we are going to care about R-Truth further than in the next year. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah.
But then he pulled out the whole fact of he has 19 dates left because he went down the list of dates that he's already showed up. He has 19 dates left. He counted tonight as a date of showing up, even though he wasn't promoted or anything on that. Raw had more shots than Money in the Bank PLE. Of course it did. Thunder, if you would have been here for our Money in the Bank review show, I'll tell you this right now, and I said this to Cam earlier today, that me and Cam, we have some really great shows here on the network, but I feel like Saturday was our best show because of the fact that it was just very there was just things about our show Monday night that was just, it's unexplainable right now. It is, but it was a great show. If you want to go check the recording of it, Off the Top Media's YouTube channel, the recording is there. Go check it out. I promise you will enjoy it. It was a great show Saturday night. It was. But then CM Punk comes out, and CM Punk said things like he's not here to defend the establishment. He's here to defend the people, and he's not kissing the final boss's ass. He is here that he said that the people are the boss. He also mentioned about John Cena. You know, he said that, John Cena had to become a monster to win the WWE Championship and do what he's doing right now. So he's saying that in order for him to beat the monster, he's got to become a monster. And then he went on to challenge John Cena for the belt tonight. John was kind of hyping up to get there, but then he said, no, this match isn't for just a normal Monday Night Raw. This match is meant to be bigger. I will see you in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. That is if you accept the challenge. Now, during that moment, Seth Rollins' music hits. You see CM Punk say, I'll see you there. But then that's it. Nothing came out of Seth's mouth. Seth just showed up to kind of remind, like, hey, I got a briefcase that says I can challenge anybody at any time for any championship, and you guys can't do a damn fucking thing about it. So, Cab, your thoughts on this whole segment and what you got from it?
So, I mean, I really realistically was not truly invested in anything Cena had to say necessarily. I mean, I kind of figured, what his promo was essentially was going to be about. I'm sure he's going to say something about the fans. I'm sure he's going to mock R-Truth and whatnot have you. It really didn't get good until CM Punk came out, because I feel like that's when it really got interesting, because we haven't really seen a whole lot of interaction with CM Punk and Cena, at least not since Elimination Chamber, and that was when Cena had turned. So I thought this was very interesting to see. Easily probably one of CM Punk's better promos, I would say. And it felt old school, because he mentioned TKO. Like I said, a lot of fans right now don't like the TKO regime and are untrustworthy of TKO and their power and their reign over WWE right now. So I like that, because that sounded like old, pipe bomb, CM Punk. So I definitely like that. Like, he's like, I'm not here for them. I'm not defending the powers that be, or the suit and ties. I like that. I definitely like that, because that just sounded like something, CM Punk of old would have said. When it comes to this actual match, again, it feels like a tour of John Cena. And that's what it feels like. For it to be made the way it was, no real buildup, no real actual story, really connecting these two right now, but outside of Saudi right now, and for that match to be made a Clash of Champions or whatnot have you. So that's why I don't feel like Punk is beating Cena. I honestly, I think this is just a one-off to give Cena a title defense. I still see us getting Cena and Cody too at SummerSlam, potentially with Cody taking back the championship, because like I said, that feud and that story is still up in the air. It's not really, hasn't been finished yet. So no chance I see CM Punk winning that championship at at Clash of Champions, whatever it's called, in Saudi, Night of Champions. In Saudi. I could be wrong. I mean, I was wrong tonight. I mean, you just seen Gunther win back the World Championship, so I could be wrong, but I'm leaning more towards Cena retaining.
It makes sense of what you said. This is almost like a reunion tour of a sense when it comes to John Cena, because he comes back, goes into the Royal Rumble, loses the Royal Rumble to Jey Uso. Then he gets into Elimination Chamber. He wins Elimination Chamber, turns heel, goes to WrestleMania, wins the title. Get past the championship win. Now you start seeing him taking on people that he faced in his career. First person, R-Truth. They have their match at Saturday Night Main Event. A lot of people sat here and said, like, why isn't the world title on the line? Should have probably been on the line, because the only time we ever seen John Cena and R-Truth in the ring facing each other was back at Capital Punishment about 12 years ago, right? Now CM Punk, he had that huge feud with CM Punk back in 2011. Now we got him and CM Punk. So, yes, GS, we are talking about Monday Night Raw. We just finished up our watch along, and now we are talking about the show after the show. We appreciate you stopping in tonight. Thank you so much. Randy Orton, exactly. Yeah. T, you're not wrong on that. He faced Randy Orton at Backlash, taking on Randy. So it's like that tour of his greatest or best challengers, or who he had feuds with back in his earlier in his career. Yeah. So it makes sense. As far as CM Punk winning the title at Night of Champions, who knows? I mean, right now it's kind of a toss-up. Yeah. Should we see Cena and Cody at SummerSlam? Yeah, we should. But at the same time, CM Punk going for the world title and possibly winning the world title isn't too far off of believability. At the same time, you have Seth Rollins, who is lurking in the shadows with that Money in the Bank briefcase, who has problems with CM Punk. So, I don't know. It's like they're trying to leave us guessing with what they're going to do. They're trying to kind of swerve us on what direction they're going to go with the WWE Championship. It's going to be Cody.
Freaking out right now.
Yeah, he's spamming up right now.
Ignore that.
Yeah. But it's like, what direction are we going to go? Are we going to have Punk win it? Are we going to have Seth cash in? Are we going to have Cody face him? Who knows? They're leaving us guessing right now. And you know what, Cam? I love it. I love it. And I'm excited to see what direction they go. Just saying. But we are getting CM Punk and John Cena at Night of Champions, as it was confirmed later on the night. The one thing that left me questioning, though, was why was it up to Adam Pearce? WWE title is a SmackDown product. Why was it not left up to Nick Aldis?
Good question.
I know that's kind of nitpicking a little bit. It's a little nitpicky. I know it is, Cam.
That makes perfect sense because the W title is on SmackDown. WWE title is SmackDown's property. So
yeah. So Nick Aldis should have probably been making more of the decision, but CM Punk is a Raw guy.
Or had a conversation with Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I know it's being nitpicky with who made the decision, but
I don't think so.
No. Who knows? But
nitpicky for me is like, oh, why does Cena tie his shoes that way? That's nitpicky for me. Like you're picking the most like smallest increment of whatever it is on your TV screens that doesn't really matter.
T is legitimizing my statement here, saying it's a good catch. I appreciate. I
don't think it's nitpicky at all. I didn't even think about that until you just said it.
I don't know. I just thought of it like, why is this Raw general manager making a decision on a SmackDown championship? I don't know.
Or we could just end the brand split, but whatever.
And that was going to be my next statement is are they starting to lean towards like the brand splits don't matter no more, but at the same time we're still going to keep
currently.
Yeah, like are we still going to keep the championships separate on certain brands, but the brand split's not going to matter anymore? Like a SmackDown guy can challenge for a Raw championship, but it's got to be decided upon said general manager. So I wonder if Cena and Nikki are going to knock boots for old times. No, that's not happening. Nikki Bella, she just went through a rough divorce as far as it's being said, and John Cena's married.
Cena's married.
So that's not happening. That's not happening at all. Believe me, I wanted to make a comment during Raw tonight, but I held back. I did. So Virgo.
I'm sure they crossed each other in the hallway. I'm sure
of course. Of course. They couldn't have avoided each other. Unless Cena ran back to his bus right away and left, because we didn't see him anymore after the segment. So he could have left.
Could have.
Cam, not too many talking segments to really talk about tonight. There was more so just matches. Again, we are going to talk about the King and the Queen of the Ring tournaments. So I'm going to save those matches for when we get into talking about just the tournaments. So one more thing to really talk about when it comes to talking segments is the R-Truth thing. Yeah, we got Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella have their pissing match. Will we see them at Evolution? Who knows? I don't know if you have any thoughts on that real quick. Do you have any thoughts on Liv Morgan and Nikki?
I don't care about Nikki Bella.
I'm cross it off my list. Okay. This is gonna cross off my list.
I don't care.
R-Truth did come out and he had some words for the crowd, basically. We do have another talk segment to talk about, and it was a comeback. So we'll get into that, and then we'll get into the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. But R-Truth did come out. He said, R-Truth is back, but he pretty much broke it down as he wants people to put respect on his name. He is sick of hearing the negativity of people saying, oh, he's just a comedy act. He doesn't do anything, any of the negative stuff. But then he pulls out scissors and cuts his hair. Now, Cam, I don't know if you remember this a couple weeks ago, but I did make the statement that I want to grow my hair out like R-Truth. I made that statement the other week. You remember that?
No. What was this?
So here's the thing: is I tried to pop you a couple weeks ago, and I said, you know what? I want to grow my hair out like R-Truth.
Oh, I think I do remember that.
I said it.
I think I do remember you saying that. I forgot about that.
It's not going to ever happen because I'm bald. So, but he cuts his hair in a surprising Virgo. It's not happening. It's not. Yeah, man can dream. I can't dream about it. I can't even grow a proper beard no more, people. I can't. But your thoughts on R-Truth, man? I mean, I'm excited he's back. We're getting some really good merch from him.
Oh, he's got some really good shirts out right now.
What direction do you think we're going now, though?
I don't see. Again, I don't want to say for sure, but it seems like a more serious direction.
In your fans' eye, I'm sorry for cutting you off. In your fans' eyes, you're a fan. In your eyes and your opinion, where do you think this might be going? I wanted to word that a little better.
I would say a more serious direction.
Ron Killings.
I mean, we were all kind of confused when, he came back at Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Easily one of the highlights. And his merch is back up there, but it doesn't say R-Truth, it says Ron Killings. So a lot of us were confused, like, okay, was he going by Ron Killings now? Is he still R-Truth? What is really going on? And that's why I was telling you Saturday night on our post show when we did the review, and I said, hey, they need to follow up with this. Don't have him come out and doing the goofy thing. We need answers. We need to follow up with this. And I think they did a fantastic job with what they presented us with. He again cut one of his best promos I think he's cut in probably 10 years of the company.
More serious promo though.
Yeah, more
he's
serious.
Cut a lot of comedic promos that were really good, but the serious promo, like he made you feel a certain way tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He validated what all fans were saying and even some of his coworkers were saying that letting R-Truth walk was just not the answer. That's just not, and so like I said, he basically said to the fans something that they should already know. Don't let TKO, don't let WWE. That's what he really wanted to say. Don't let TKO, don't let WWE, don't let Triple H himself say that you don't matter.
Yeah.
Your voice is when you want something and you're loud about it enough at these events and in these matches and such and just week after week after week. I mean, look at CM Punk year after year after year. CM Punk was being chanted and he's finally back, so that's something that a lot of fans should know that it's important. It's not something to be taken for granted. And it's not like, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, it definitely matters because they wouldn't have brought him back if it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, he did in a very shocking turn of events, he cuts his hair. He's always had long hair. He cuts his hair. So I definitely didn't see that coming. I'm guessing it's like, again, it's a rebellious, it's a rejection of, some of these naysayers, some of these other, fans of WWE and professional wrestling that said that, oh, he doesn't matter, or, oh, he's just a comedy act. And, oh, without WWE, he won't be missed, yada, 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 on and on and on and on. That's what I think it was. It was definitely a response to them. Like, okay, if you think I don't matter now, just watch me improve, watch what I can do. Cause you've only seen on the surface. You've seen the comedy stuff, but I'm so much more than that. So I'm very excited to see what he does next.
I'm excited too, and the haircutting thing definitely is a statement. It's him. It's almost like him when he cuts his hair saying, if you don't think I'm being serious, here's my statement of showing you I mean business. And it's him cutting his hair. And that goes because you look at R-Truth and it's like, what is he best like when you look at his style of whether how he dresses and stuff like that, and his hair's done, you get that, how his hair was before he cut it. It's R-Truth. Like, that's him. But now we're getting a totally different side. This is almost like his transformation without he transformed himself in front of our eyes. That's what he did. It's not like he walked out of the arena and then next week he comes out with a haircut. Go back to years ago with Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, right? You go back to when he first started, he had the long blonde hair and stuff like that, but then he went away on an injury or whatever. He comes back and he has short hair. He transformed himself a little bit. Chris Jericho, very much well known as transforming himself throughout the past couple years in AEW. Even in WWE, he did it, but more so known for it as of late in AEW with his transformations, being the leader of faction after faction after faction, but he transformed as he went along. This is a transformation of saying, I'm no longer R-Truth. I'm Ron Killings, and I mean business. And I'm for it. I'm ready for this serious side of R-Truth. We've been calling for it. Me and you have talked about this in length many nights on a Monday night about getting a serious R-Truth. Does that crossover well for fans who only know silly R-Truth, though? I think, and Cam, you can answer this question as well. I think this is going to cross over well because we'll probably still get R-Truth when it needs to happen, not more so of, him just because, and I said this crazy enough. I said this to my mom. Out of anybody I said this to, I said it to my mom. Because once in a while I will catch her sitting downstairs watching wrestling. And she knows who R-Truth is. Surprisingly enough, she knows who R-Truth is. So I told her, like, there's this thing been going on all week about R-Truth, and she knows who I'm talking about and everything. And basically, for somebody that's new to R-Truth, they know him for his silly side and everything, which she knows him as his silly side. I said to her, like, hey, we're about to get like a serious side of R-Truth, which she doesn't know about. And she, the words that came out of her mouth was, well, this could be exciting. The change. It could be exciting. Now, the people that only know R-Truth for his silly side, this is going to be new to them. For some of us, it's not new. So it could be exciting for them. It could be. And it could end up being well for them. Some people are going to be fans of it. Some people aren't going to be fans of it. But I think he's going to transition very well for the fans that only know his silly side. I think so. Cam, I don't know if you have anything on that question.
So to both questions, does hardcore Ron work though? Well, like I said, even before he got into the WWE, he's proven that it works. He's a former world champion in his own right, so he's definitely proven that it works. Again, I've said this in length, and I'm going to keep saying this. Fans that only know him for his WWE stuff are probably unfamiliar with Ron the Truth Killings, which is what he was before coming into the company.
Yeah.
I have been following him since, the 3 Live Crew days back in TNA, the 6-sided ring, all that jazz. So that was what I was familiar with. I don't mind goofy R-Truth, but I missed what he was before coming to the WWE. So for me, the transition is going to be smooth because I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes next. How serious, how deep are they going to go with this? I don't mind it. So that's for the first question. Second question is, does this cross over well with fans who only know silly R-Truth? Probably not. I do expect a great deal of quote unquote fans, and I put that in quotations because they could easily turn on him in a few weeks and go, "Oh, I miss silly R-Truth." Those aren't really fans. But the fans that support him no matter what he is, Ron Killings, R-Truth, they're gonna love it. So
I mean, I've been following him since his K-Quick days. I've known him since his start in WWE before he left and went to TNA and then came back. So I've been following him pretty much his whole career. And that's not me trying to one up anybody. I'm just saying this is how long I've been following him, you know. But T, you said you're talking more about the casual and young people who just like him for his laughs. So here's the thing is, you know, and I'm not going to try and get too deep into by saying this, but there are people that say, you know, oh, I've had a bad day. I watched Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Raw wasn't too good. But then when I seen R-Truth come on my screen, it made me laugh, and it made my day a little better because he made me laugh. Okay. There's people that count it on watching Raw and watching R-Truth for his laughs because, you know, they may have had a bad day and they're looking for something to laugh at. I don't think they are going to necessarily take that away in full. I think we are still going to get a funny side of R-Truth. But I think we are also going to get more of the serious side than we are the funny side. We'll still get the funny stuff. So, T, think of it this way. Go back to when R-Truth turned heel. Remember the time he smoked a cigarette and took the water break during that gauntlet match on Monday Night Raw? You remember that? And you had Johnny Nitro kind of making fun of him for it. And then little Jimmy got introduced to us. I think that's what we're going to get from R-Truth, but minus the whole little Jimmy talking to invisible people type of thing. So we'll still get funny stuff from him, but we are going to see a totally different side. We are probably going to get TNA Ron Killings. Because he did do some funny stuff in TNA, but I think we are going to get TNA Ron Killings. I think that's what we're going to get. Turn it up.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say turn it up a little bit. That's all. They're going to turn
like
it
I
up.
said, he's definitely going to have fun with it, I think. You know what I mean? It's not like he's turning heel. But
do we want both, though? I feel like they have to choose. I don't think they feel like they have to choose. I think we are going to get both. Do we? And there's going to be people out there that necessarily don't want both. There is. That's the thing. And T, you've been a fan as long as I have, you know, and you've been a fan as long as Cam has. The thing is you have fans out there that sit there and say, oh, I don't want to see this no matter what. And then you have your fans out there that are like, you know what? It's something that I don't want to see, but let's see where it goes. It's almost like, you know what? I don't want to see this, but let's see where it goes and see if it turns into something I do want to see. So you have, and those aren't fans that are so much indecisive. Those fans are, you know, they're decisive on it. Like they don't want to see it, but they, you know, they're kind of being open-minded to it. That's pretty much that. I'm not disagreeing with anything you guys have said, by the way. My questions are genuinely, and that's fine. T, honestly, we appreciate the questions and the interaction. We do. And by all means, we aren't taking it as you disagreeing. We appreciate the questions because, you know, on a Monday night this late, we don't get a lot of questions. So we appreciate the interaction, and by all means, fire off the questions. But if for some reason we don't answer a question that you ask, it just means that we need to move along because, you know, we do have to end the show at some point tonight. But bring the questions. By all means, bring the questions. We appreciate it. But for answering this last one, because we'll make this the last one. So there's going to be fans that don't want to see something, and they are set on that decision. There are going to be fans that want to see it and are set on that decision. And then you are going to have fans that are in the middle that are like, whether they want to see it or don't want to see it, they're going to be open-minded to it. Okay? It's almost like, you know, you have a new burger joint that opens up down the street and you hear people say, oh, this place ain't good. And then you'll have people that say, oh, this place is good. You're in the middle. you're undecided right now on whether this place is going to be good or not. So what do you got to do? You got to go try it. That's what you're going to get. They're going to try it with this new version of R-Truth and see how well it works. Because now you're getting the serious side. You got to see if the funny side works a little bit more with the serious side. Because now we're going to get 90% serious and 10% funny, or 80% serious and 20% funny. It's switching the script. And it's going to be new to a lot of people. And they're going to have to make a decision whether they like it or not. So I hope I answered that question. I hope I answered that question, to the
best of your ability.
Yeah, to the best of my ability and to the extent. T, if you want to have further conversation about this, by all means, I'll throw up my social medias, Metal Mike 714. You can hit me up on Instagram. I message. I'll talk wrestling with you off air. But again, by all means, do not be afraid to bring the questions to the show. But, again, we do have to move forward at some point and get towards the end of the show here. Maybe I have PTSD from Cena turn, so I think they go full evil with people now. I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't like the Cena turn. There's a lot of people that like the Cena turn. And, so, but yeah. Let's move on to our next subject, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Becky Lynch came out talking about her Intercontinental title win at Money in the Bank. She started off by saying to the fans, like, hey, no, you deserve a chance. Well, I do deserve it. She went on a tangent like she always does. Lyra Valkyria comes out. She wants an apology from Lyra. But then we get the return tonight of a Bayley who attacks Becky Lynch. Cam, I know the answer to this, but I got to ask you your thoughts, and are you excited that Bayley's back?
Absolutely. I popped. I mean, you know what I mean? So again, this is something that the feud needed. I keep saying that, it was just dry. Like what I was hoping was that they were not going to go back to the well with Lyra and Becky and be like, oh, well, I did this. Well, I did that. Oh, I'm better because I did this. Like, they're just listing off their accomplishments. And that's what this feud has really been hanging on to for dear life. And it's just not doing it for me. Their matches are great. I don't like the fact that they're, both matches that they had pretty much ended the same way, but their matches have been great. You got a little bit of technical wrestling, got a little bit of physicality in there. So yeah, they work well together. The chemistry is fantastic. It's just the feud itself is not interesting enough. There needs to be something else. So Bayley coming back, because that's been the biggest question mark in this entire feud from start to now. Yeah. Where's Becky? Or not Becky? Where's Bayley? Is she injured? Is her, this whole contract situation was going on? Is she going to leave? Is she going to stay? Is she going to resign? A whole lot of questions. So tonight, I would assume we definitely have that answered. So, and I would definitely love to see that going forward. Triple threat maybe with these three for the Intercontinental Championship, or like I said, a standard one-on-one with Becky and Bayley just makes too much sense. So I like it. I have no quarrels with this at all.
I'm excited that Bayley's back. I know we had talked about last week about whether she's having some contract disputes or not, or whether she's injured or whatnot. We didn't know where Bayley was. And then I mentioned to you earlier in the day on Saturday, before Money in the Bank happened, that there was a lot of talk online about a big return happening. And again, we talk about, we'd rather just see things happen opposed to knowing, listening to the dirt sheets or people sit there and make predictions or say like, hey, this person's coming back tonight. We don't want to know. We just want to watch the show and see what happens. Okay. So fast forward to Saturday night, all the women's stuff is done. No returns or anything like that. We go to our review show on Saturday night, and I'd mentioned that Bayley was the one that was rumored to come back, and she didn't. And we had mentioned that she could be the one to lighten up, bring life to this feud with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. And I had also said that, hey, Becky's got to win this belt because Lyra being the chaser for the Intercontinental title, this could be the chase of the summer. They could do something with this, but they have to add some type of other element because, like you just said, it's dry. The matches, yeah, it's physical, it's good, but every win so far, whether it's Lyra or Becky, it's roll-ups. There's no, like, exciting finish to the match. But then the pissing matches that they have on Monday Night Raw are just terrible. They're not good. The promo work is terrible. It's not good. Now, did I say earlier tonight that that Becky Lynch's heel version now is better than her one before? Yeah, because Big Time Beck's version 1.0 was just terrible. Version 2.0, I'm liking this version of Big Time Beck's, if that's what she's going by, because there's just like a small different type of element to it. And I'm trying to pinpoint what that element is that's making me like it. And I'll try and have an answer by next week. Okay? I'll try and have an answer by next week. I'm going to think about it throughout the week. Okay? Not spending a lot of time on it, but I'll think about it. But I'm liking it. And now that Bayley's back, does this add a whole new element to it, Cam? Yeah, it does. But what other element are they going to add? Because you can't just add Bayley and then stop there. You got to add more to it. Does that make sense? Am I in the ballpark there? Am I right about that? Or is Bayley just enough?
No, it's not. It all depends on, again, it comes down to the promo work, the story that they're going to build. You know, obviously there's the element, there's the element of, you know, her being attacked and taking out of the WrestleMania tag match. Okay. You know, okay, what else? You got to build upon that, because that was back in April.
Yeah.
You're not gonna drag that out until August, November, October. You know what I mean? You're not gonna drag that out. Like, okay, we need something else here. We need it. It's fine if they're gonna start with that and lead into their, you know, potential first match or whatever. Cool, great. But then you gotta evolve that and then have Bayley have an actual purpose, or I guess reason, to then I would think go after, you know, Becky in the Intercontinental Championship, because right now there is no reason. She attacked Becky tonight because, again, she was attacked at Mania, so that makes sense. But you're gonna have to evolve that, because they're not gonna drag out something that happened back in April, and we're in the month of October or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's just that's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, and I don't think making a triple threat match is going to solve the issue either. I don't, and I feel like that's the road that they're going to be going down, because Lyra seemed very confused about Bayley coming out tonight. You look on her face, she looked confused. She was like, what the fuck? Like, what is she doing here? You know, I'm about to go to the ring and take care of my business with somebody I've been feuding with for the past couple weeks, and now you just show up? So it's obvious that Lyra and Bayley aren't working together.
No.
But making it a triple threat match is not enough of an addition of an element. Like, give us something else. And yes, does that mean pulling a gimmick match out of your hat and saying, let's do this? Just don't make it a fucking steel cage. Do not do that to us.
Oh, God, no.
Do not. I mean, Cam, I don't know about you, but I would probably take a triple threat ladder match over a steel cage match.
Yes, absolutely.
I would.
Enough with the steel cage matches.
We've had too many in the past couple weeks.
Yes.
Way too many. Between AEW and WWE, way too many. So we'll have to see where this goes with Bayley coming back and the addition of Bayley into this Intercontinental title picture. Who knows? Does Becky eventually join Seth and company? She fits for a million reasons. You know what, T? You know, it's not a bad idea. And she would fit, but the timing, I think, would need to be right. Right now, no. The first mention of Seth tonight, well, she's mentioned Seth before in a promo a couple weeks ago. But I feel like tonight's mentioning of him was a little bit deeper, because they both won at Money in the Bank, and the whole, I'm going to go celebrate with my hot husband, Seth Rollins. They would have to find a reason to add her and not just add her. You know, for example, like say the Judgment Day just all of a sudden becomes a babyface team. Okay? They got women in their group. Then it would make sense to add Becky. But right now, I don't think there's really a way for it to fit in. You know, I type okay. Voice to text is my designated driver tonight. Virgo. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I'm seeing Corporation Triple H Stephanie power couple. I mean, we've talked about the new group being called Evolution 2.0. You want to hear something really funny, Cam? You ready to laugh at this? I caught a clip of Triple H talking at the press conference after Money in the Bank, right? And he was talking about Evolution and Evolution 2. And at first, I thought he was talking about the group. He was talking about the pay-per-view. But I honestly thought he was talking about Seth's group. Yeah, I did. These comments are brought to you by... Oh my God. Kidney stones suck. Kidney stones suck. I just passed one like 2 weeks ago. They're terrible. But yeah, I put that out there. I just said that. But that's it for everything else that's going on Monday Night Raw tonight. The edition of Monday Night Raw tonight was the King and the Queen of the Ring tournaments that started, okay? So we're going to make our predictions. We're going to talk about these tournament matches and everything tonight. The first match that kicked off was Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane. Closing moments of the match is that Kairi Sane hit the elbow, her insane elbow onto Liv Morgan. And Roxanne Perez came in, pushed Kairi Sane off of Liv Morgan. Or not pushed her off, but she rolled up Kairi Sane and got the win with Roxanne Perez moving on to the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Okay. Cam, do you have any thoughts on this match, number one?
Not really. I mean, it was a semi-decent match.
Okay.
Again, I'm liking the dynamic with, just Roxanne, even remotely associated with the Judgment Day right now. I like it. Like I said, I think it's a good spot for Roxanne right now. Even after the Judgment Day is, I think, a done deal, I wouldn't mind just seeing even Roxanne be paired with Finn Balor for a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't see why not. I think that looks like a good pairing to me. So, and not like a Dom and Liv pairing, just a partnership. I think would be kind of cool. So I mean, like I said, the dynamic with Roxanne and Liv Morgan right now, I think I like it. And like I said, it's really just designed. It's Finn Balor's just evil plot to just drive a wedge between Dominic and of course Liv Morgan. So, and I'm liking it because, like I said, that backstage segment was hilarious. Like
the look on his
so
face,
giddy, like he's grinning from ear to ear. He's loving every second of just all the friction and all the bickering between them two. So I'm loving it.
The look on his face said it all. That just said it all. But the other match that we had as far as tournaments tonight, the King of the Ring tournament, Penta, Dom, Sammy, and Braun. LA Knight came in, attacked Braun Breaker, taking him out of the match. Sami Zayn found some momentum and hit the Blue Thunder Bomb on Dom, hit the Haluva kick on Dom, made the pin, wins the match, moves on to the semifinals. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
It was almost like they heard me because I said it before the bell rung. I was like Sammy winning this, I think makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Braun doesn't really need it. He's part of a group with Seth. He doesn't really need it. Penta is a slow build. Who else was in this match? Penta, Braun, Sammy,
Dom,
and then Dom. Dom's Intercontinental champion, so Dom doesn't need it either. He's got his hands full with whatever's going on in the Judgment Day right now. So I was like, Sammy just makes the most sense. I feel like, and I don't necessarily like this plan all that much, but again, it just makes sense, just due to the progression of that storyline right now that he's got going on with Seth. I would have Sammy go get all the way through to to the finals of this particular tournament. And then just ultimately end up getting screwed by Seth. And then you said you have more of the progression with the storyline with him and Seth, wherever that's going. Again, I don't really like that. Again, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Seth Rollins. I've said that multiple times as well right now. But again, it just makes a lot of sense right now. Because like I said, I could still see them going with this, this tough road for Sammy. He gets an opportunity and then he loses. He gets an opportunity, then loses. He's just on like this heavy losing streak. And like I said, I like that story. I think they should stay on that path without having to turn him heel or whatever, because like I said, he's ultimately going to be the ultimate underdog when he finally does make it to his ultimate goal in getting a world title match and winning the world title. So it's going to be a massive pop too. Massive.
I mean, if you look at it, they couldn't have made the road any more difficult for him now. I mean, you pretty much called this thing.
Yeah.
And I said it a couple weeks ago, like, oh, with Jay being champion, why not turn Sammy heel and have him as a challenger? Now we got Gunther as the world champion tonight. Who'd Sami Zayn beat at WrestleMania 39 for the Intercontinental Championship?
Gunther.
Or WrestleMania 40. He beat him at 40 for the 40. Intercontinental title. Okay. Gunther. Okay. Had a match against Gunther as the world champion. Lost. Goes on a losing streak. Now he's in the King of the Ring tournament. Wins the Fatal 4-Way match. Now he's in the semifinals. Got to win his semifinals to go to the finals. Then he's got to win the finals to win a number one contendership for the world championship. Because if a SmackDown guy wins, then they go after the WWE championship. If a Raw guy wins, they go after the world title. Who's holding the world title right now?
Gunther.
The man he beat for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 40. Cam, you called it. Credit it to you, sir.
I mean, it makes sense. I like it. I have no problems with it.
And here's the thing is I am 100% on board with everything you said now. Was I a couple weeks ago? No, I wasn't. Again, for you new viewers, me and Cam do not always agree on things, but we do know how to have conversations and not get into pissing matches about pro wrestling. We know how to have civil conversations.
Yeah.
So, and we credit each other when, credit is due. And I'm crediting Cam right now. He was right on this. He called this shit, and now it is happening before our very eyes. So, but getting into the rest of the tournament matches, we are getting, and again, if a SmackDown guy wins the tournament, they go after the WWE Championship. If a Raw guy wins, they go after the world title. Same with the women's. If a Raw person wins, they go after the WWE Women's World. If the SmackDown, they go after the WWE Women's. So that's how it's going to work. That's how they're doing this as far as the winners. They are going after their respective championships. Let's cover the Queen of the Ring tournament first. Qualifying matches, and we'll make predictions as well. Okay. So we already have Roxanne Perez who moves on. We are getting a match between Jade Cargill, Michin, Piper Niven, Nia Jax. Who do you got in this one?
I'm taking Jade. I'm taking Jade Cargill. I think that just makes a lot of sense to me. Like I said, Nia Jax, I mean, she was already she won last year. She won the whole thing last year. So yeah, I definitely want to say Jade. She stands out to me. That name just stands out to me the most.
Okay. Part of me, as much as I want to say it, a part of me picks Nia Jax to win and move on to the semifinals, especially with her winning last year. Some fans are actually calling for it that they need to do something with Nia Jax. And part of me is kind of like, you know what? If they're going to do something with her, do it now. And it's through this tournament. So I'm going to say Nia Jax. As much as I want to go with Jade Cargill, because you know me, I'm a very big fan of Jade Cargill. I have to go with Nia Jax on it. I do. Our other SmackDown Fatal 4-Way qualifier is Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, Candice LeRae. This is like a blockbuster all-star type of match, I would say. Who would you go with on this one?
I'm gonna say Chelsea Green. I think she needs to be one step closer to the top gold, I would say. Like I said, she's the inaugural Women's United States champion. I think I expected her run to be a little longer. I feel like they kind of cut that a little short, in my opinion. And now I feel like they need to put her back on the right path because she's uber popular, on SmackDown. So they definitely need to put her back on the right track.
When I look at the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, even in the past, I looked at it as they got to give opportunity to somebody who's really not doing much of anything right now. At the same time, with that being said, you want to go with somebody who's not doing anything right now, but is very popular. I got to go Alexa Bliss. She hasn't done much of anything since she's been back.
That's very true.
You know, so I have to say Alexa Bliss on this one. Last match is a Raw qualifier. Asuka making her return. She's going to be in the match with Stephanie Vakir, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy Nile. Another blockbuster heavy match. I mean, this is a all-star stacked match right here on Monday Night Raw. Who would you go with on this one?
I'm going to Stephanie Vakir. Again, like I said, they've treated her like the mega star that she is right now. You know, she's red hot, I would say. So yeah, no, I definitely, I could honestly see her getting to the finals. I'm not saying she's gonna win it all, but I could definitely see her being a part of the finals for sure.
As much as I want to say Asuka because she's making her return, and why not make a bigger splash on your return than the winning a qualifying match for the Queen of the Ring tournament? Part of me wants to say Raquel because she would be facing Roxanne in the semifinals. Or no, yeah, she would be facing Roxanne in the semifinals.
Yeah,
and that whole Judgment Day storyline thing. That's why. That's the only reason why I want to go with Raquel. Other than that, I'm with you, Stephanie Vakir. I would go, and it's Vakir, not Vakwe, or however the fuck Nikki Bella said it. I got to go with Raquel on this one. So, and we'll take this all the way to the finals, okay? So, you have Roxanne taking on Stephanie. Who wins it?
Roxanne. Wait, whoa! Say that again. I was
okay. So we're gonna move in. We're gonna move into the semifinals now with this, and then we're gonna finish this off. We're gonna make a full prediction on who wins. Okay.
Okay.
So your semifinals matchup on Raw would be Roxanne and Stephanie Vakir. Who you taking?
I'm gonna say Stephanie. Yeah.
Okay. I'm. Mine would be Roxanne and Raquel. I'm gonna say Roxanne. I'm gonna say Roxanne Perez to go to the finals. And on the other side, for the SmackDown side, you have Jade Cargill taking on Chelsea Green.
I'm gonna say Chelsea Green.
Okay.
Because of interference by Naomi.
Okay. That makes sense. Definitely makes sense. My semifinals is Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, bringing back an old rivalry. We're talking like from years ago. I got to stick with it. Alexa Bliss, like, again, she's not doing much of anything right now, and she's the one to make the big upset on Nia Jax. That brings us to the finals. You have Stephanie Vakir taking on Chelsea Green in the finals. Who are you taking?
I'm going Chelsea Green.
Okay. So Chelsea with the upset.
Yeah.
On Stephanie Vakir kind of gets to that close to the brass ring, the crown, whatever, and then it just gets taken away from her.
Yeah.
Maybe an interference by Piper Niven to help Chelsea Green get there.
There you go.
Yeah. My finals would be Roxanne Perez and Alexa Bliss. And this is where the start of the break of like Liv Morgan, Roxanne rivalry starts with the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan sees the success of Roxanne. She's kind of like, what the fucking? Like, how is she getting this success? And it comes out and costs her against Alexa Bliss in the finals. So I got Alexa Bliss winning it. So let's go to the men's side of things. We already had Sami Zayn win. He is in the semifinals for the Raw side. The other Raw match to be decided, Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and a surprise opponent. Now, you said you will lose your fucking mind if this is Karrion Kross. I have a small feeling it is Karrion Kross.
God,
I do. So let's just say, for all intensive purposes, that it is Karrion Kross. Who are you taking in this fatal four-way?
Karrion Kross.
Okay.
Karrion Kross. Like when I looked at the bracket and his picture is not the one that I've seen in either side of the bracket. Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, why is this man missing out on another opportunity? So the whole mystery opponent thing had better be Karrion Kross.
As much as I want to agree with you, because I want to agree with you so much, Karrion Kross needs to start being put in position. He does. I gotta say Bronson Reed. I do. Like, if you're going to have Sami Zayn scratch and claw his ways to the final to get a world title shot, he's got to take on like the biggest and baddest motherfuckers ever. And Bronson Reed is one of them. So I got to go Bronson Reed to face Sami Zayn in the semifinals. For the SmackDown side, though, because we got to finish off the first round. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes in a fatal 4-way. Who do you got on this one?
It's another stacked one. But I'm gonna say Aleister. Like I said, I think they're definitely trying to start him off on a fresh start. And I think this is the way to do it. So I'm gonna go Aleister.
I another one I really want to agree with you on, but they missed their opportunity to put LA Knight in a position to have success and get him towards that world title. This is another opportunity to kind of get him there. I got to go LA Knight. I do. I got to go LA Knight to win this match. Okay. Yeah, I'm writing this down. I am. Got to see who comes close, right? In the other SmackDown Fatal 4-way. Okay. Andrade's in this match. Okay. Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cody Rhodes. Cody one kind of throws me off. That's weird.
Yeah, that's very strange.
But that is super weird to have Cody Rhodes in a King of the Ring tournament.
Very odd. Yeah.
Cody Rhodes. Like, is this the path back to the world title?
I hope not.
Through a King of the Ring tournament?
I hope not.
What do you got?
I don't know. Give me the names again.
Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
It's got to be Damian Priest. They're not doing anything with Andrade, and Shinsuke has been a ghost ever since winning and losing the United States Championship from LA Knight. And in Cody, again, I see Cena getting involved, probably taking him out of the equation in this match entirely. So it's got to be Damian. He's the only one I feel like with any kind of buzz outside of Cody.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Shinsuke was gone.
I did too. So I didn't even know he was still with the company. So
I thought he was gone. I did. I'm gonna be with you on this one. I gotta say Damian Priest as well. I mean, it only makes sense because Andrade, they're doing absolutely nothing with him, and they continue to do so. Like, it's like, oh, we bring him back. He has this huge pop at the Royal Rumble last year, 2024, and it's like, yeah, we're not gonna do nothing with him. Fuck him. Shinsuke Nakamura, same thing. Fuck him. He wants to leave, let him leave. We're just gonna, screw him on the way out, like we normally do. And then Cody, this is just a stupid path back to the world title. Like, it's like, oh, let's put him in the King of the Ring tournament and then have him win it. And then he's gonna wear a crown. It's almost like they're going back to his Stardust days. In this situation. Like, and the reason why I say Stardust days is because that's the only like relevant thought that I have at the moment with comparing him to what he was doing back at that time when he was with the company the first time. You know what I mean? So, semifinal matches, you have Sami Zayn taking on Karrion Kross. Who do you got?
Karrion Kross. Yeah.
You have Karrion Kross going to the finals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I got Sami beating Bronson Reed. You totally have me on board with the Sami Zayn thing now. You really do. You have me on board. The other semifinals you have set up is Aleister Black and Damian Priest.
Oh, that's such a good matchup. I like that.
Really good matchup. Yeah, it is.
Man, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm gonna say Aleister Black.
Ooh,
with the upset, yeah.
All right. Who does Sami take on? LA Knight. I'm gonna go LA Knight over
Knight.
LA Knight over Damian Priest. Yeah. And how they could play this off is like LA Knight, Sami Zayn make it to the finals. And Sami Zayn, you know, if they want to build like a small story, Sami can be like, you know, you almost cost me my qualifier by attacking Bronson Reed or whatever. You kind of got in the way a little bit, something like that. I don't know. I could throw something in there. Because who's going to remember the first qualifying match in 3 or 4 weeks?
Not me.
Qualifying match. Who's going to remember? They could just do something, you know. So your finals would be Karrion Kross against Aleister Black.
It's another good matchup too.
Now remember, the winner gets the world championship title shot.
Yes.
In their respective brands. So think carefully on this one. Who do you got?
I'm going my man Karrion Kross.
All right. So you got Karrion Kross going for a world title.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, that's fair. I mean, if you're going to do something with them, go big. Why not? Go big or go home.
Yep.
Sami Zayn or LA Knight? I got to go with the sensible one and Sami Zayn. I do. It makes more sense for Sami Zayn to win and challenge for the world title at SummerSlam opposed to LA Knight challenging John Cena for the title at SummerSlam. And I know there's all those rumors out there that, you know, people are talking about, oh, LA Knight's going to be the one to dethrone John Cena opposed to Cody Rhodes. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Cody all the way.
Yeah.
It's just you just don't have him win the King of the Ring tournament. That's fucking stupid.
Nah, he's just a name to throw in the hat just to fill out the Fatal 4-Way, I think.
Yeah, but you have so many names backstage.
Do they though?
So many. They do. They do. They have so many. You're telling me you wouldn't prefer a Solo Sikoa or a Jacob Fatu or you know, there's so many names backstage that they can go with.
I mean, I probably would change out Cody for Jeff Cobb.
There you go. You know, and they don't even necessarily have to win the match. Something can happen. Like if Jacob's involved, then Solo or Jeff can come out and distract him. Or if Solo's in it, Jacob could come out and cost him. Or even if Jeff Cobb's in it, Solo comes out or Jacob comes out and distracts. Something like that. And somebody else wins. Fucking Cody Rhodes in the King of the Ring tournament. I don't know. That's all we got for tonight, Cam. Your socials are on the bottom. We got a comment. Literally anyone big, anyone but the face of the company. Exactly, T. You know, why would you put your face of the company in a fucking King of the Ring tournament? Makes sense. Cam, your socials are on the bottom. Make sure you're heading over to Cam's social medias, checking out everything that he's doing, especially Cam's Wrestling Corner. I cannot stress this enough. His Cam's Wrestling Corner videos are by far, like, in my opinion, the best, you know, opinionated as far as pro wrestling videos you will see on the internet. And I'm not just saying that because he is sitting right next to me virtually. I mean that Cam's Wrestling Corner videos are amazing. Cam, what do you want to let the people know?
Well, first of all, thank you for that introduction into my socials. But no, like I said, we're here every single Monday night with we're starting to stagger or space out the watch alongs for Raw because they're long. I mean, in some Raw watch alongs are just not worth watching. So next week we will be here for the Raw post show, aka the Table Spot, as we are every single Monday night. So check us out right here on the Table Spot on Rivet City Radio, right here on Twitch. And then not on Wednesday night, because I keep saying that, but on Thursday night this week, we will be covering the 4-hour show that is happening on Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite. So come and check us out with the addition of Phil Khan, me, and of course Metalcore Mike will also be on that show as well. So check us out then as well. And just I love appreciate all you guys come by checking out the stream tonight. This was a pretty successful stream if you ask me. So I love appreciate all you guys coming by, you know, asking questions in the chat and really interacting with us. We appreciate it. So much appreciated.
This was as far as viewership interaction and everything tonight was a very big stream for us and a very successful one at that. And gotta say thank you to some of the people in the chat like T and Virgo, and even the short discussion from GS vlog, whoever that is, I still appreciate you guys stopping in. T, thank you so much for stopping in. Definitely appreciate it, because this was one of our biggest watch longs / episodes of the Table Spot when it comes to viewership of you guys in the chat. So definitely, again, appreciate you guys, and thank you, T, so much. As Cam said, we're gonna stagger the watch alongs moving forward. We're gonna switch gears and do like in every other week, because the watch alongs do get long, and so like next week we'll be here for the Table Spot. So we are going to be here for the Table Spot every Monday night after Raw, but we are going to transition into doing watch longs every other week. Because again, Monday nights can be long. I mean, we've been live we're about to hit the 4-hour mark in literally 30 seconds. 4 hours. That's a long stream. That's a long night. And so we are going to stagger the watch, but we hope that everybody who stops by for the Table Spot next week, and then the following week we'll be here for both watch along and the Table Spot. So please stop back, hit that follow button. You'll see us when we go live. But we are here every Monday night for the Table Spot. Like Cam said, we are doing the Boom on Thursday night because of AEW Dynamite being 4 hours, but normally the Boom is on Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite. Turn your notifications on. You'll see when we go live. Okay? Then you'll know when we're live. But I'm a part of, obviously, the Table Spot, and I am part of the Boom, like Cam said. I am also part of a show. I'm the host of the show, The Huddle Hub Podcast, twitch.tv/The Huddle Hub Podcast. Yeah, it is a football show. So if you enjoy football, please head over to twitch.tv/Huddle Hub Podcast. Hit the follow button there. And all the links to the Huddle Hub Podcast socials are in the bio there. To YouTube, X, and TikTok at the Huddle Hub Pod. But if you go into the bio on Twitch, you click, it takes you right to the bio for all the social medias for the Huddle Hub Podcast. I go live every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. John is my co-host, but John is on a little bit of a sabbatical right now. So it's just me live, but still talk football. Come in, join, and and we're getting ready and building that channel up for the 2025 season, and would definitely appreciate you all for joining us. Also, one more thing, the Table Spot RCR. That is the Table Spot's YouTube channel. Me and Cam do recorded content. We posted our new recording that we did today will be posted tomorrow afternoon. It is our LFG reaction to season 1, our finished, because we reacted to episodes for season 1. We did our final reaction for season 1 today. It will be posted tomorrow, and then we will be starting with season 2 on June 22nd. Plus, we have other things in the works that we are talking about doing, so stay tuned for that. We will make announcements on that as the time goes on. With that being said, we appreciate everybody who stopped out tonight for the live. If you not check out the live, appreciate you checking out the recording. As I always say, be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until next time, have a great evening, everybody. Deuces.